was pushing, you've got to have high phosphorus levels and, high potassium levels, put plenty of nitrogen on. And so the first couple of years I thought, all right, well, this is the way we're going to improve it, and had a few people come and have a look at the place and they said, look, this is what, you've got to do to improve it. So we went down that path for a few years, a couple of years in the early days, and as far be it from my idyllic lifestyle what I was attaining to. So, we were getting all these problems. We were having ryegrass draggers and pink eye, milk fever, grass tetany, retained afterbirth, foot rot, you name it. And we were doing something wrong. And I should have realised earlier, but it took me a while before I picked up what was going on. And it wasn't until one day I thought I'll plough up a paddock and plant some crop in there, and that'll improve the soil and the pasture and so forth. And then while I was doing that, I looked behind and it just dawned on me there was no birds coming behind the soil I'd just turned over. And as a kid, I remember that every time we broke up those new paddocks, there would just be a massive birds following behind the tractor because I'd be turning over all this feed, of worms and grubs, and the soil would be alive in. And then it made me realise that the soil was dead. And then I started thinking, we got no mushrooms. As a kid, we always used to be able to go and pick mushrooms whenever we wanted to in the season, and there was no mushrooms, and there was no ladybirds, no worms, no frogs, no tadpoles, and it just all dawned on me then that, she was dead. So what we were doing, in my eyes, was the wrong way to go about farming to achieve the idyllic lifestyle. But I thought I'll put a little bit of rock phosphate out as a trial. I put rock phosphate out as a trial, and there was no difference in the paddocks when I put that out as to the paddocks where I've been using superphosphate. So that made me realise, there was no way known we needed all this superphosphate, what everyone was talking about. Then I thought, I used to drench the cattle, as they said, drench the cattle all the time, and then I'd run the mob of cattle through and only drenched every second one. Then I couldn't see any difference in the cattle I'd drenched and the cattle I hadn't drenched. Then everyone said you've got to vaccinate with 5 in 1, and if you've got pulpy kidney and whatever else I forget. And then I didn't see any difference in the cattle that weren't vaccinated. And so I thought, well, I'm no worse off by going down the organic path. We seem to have eliminated all the health problems. And the pasture seems to be growing well, and early days you'd have your ryegrass and your clover. If you split the stem, it'd be hollow, but now it's the solid stems in there. And so that's generally a good sign you've got plenty in your plant. And we don't have any bloating issues. And the upside is, I get up every morning and I really do feel fantastic about what I'm doing, and I go to work knowing that, Jesus, I'm a lucky fella to be doing this, and I feel I'm making, I'm doing something that's good, and I feel good about it, and I know that people's going to have a good experience, and they're definitely not going to be worse off for having our product, and hopefully they're all going to be better off. And I just wish that the world would change, and more of us would get on the same journey, and we live on this planet as though we've got another planet to go to tomorrow, and it's just a big worry. A lot of people say organic is hard, it's too hard. If you've been farming conventionally, it's, we can't change. How could we possibly go back? But organic isn't something new. Conventional farming is new. Like, conventional farming's only been around for the last 40 or 50 years, where the world existed for, thousands of years, and we did all just consume organic products at the time. And so the only people driving all this conventional farming is the big, chemical companies and everybody that's got something to gain out of it, and no one's really thinking about what's good.